Hi everyone, this is Shalini, Assistant Professor of English, St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science, Autonomous Cuddalore. Now we are going to see the play The Jew of Malta, written by Christopher Marlowe, Act 1 to Act 3. The full title of the play, The Famous Tragedy of the Rich Jew of Malta. Genre of the play, Revenge Tragedy. About Christopher Marlowe, he was also known as Kid Marlowe, baptized on 26th February 1564, died on 30 May 1593. He was an English playwright, poet, and a translator of the Elizabethan era. Marlowe is among the most famous of the Elizabethan playwrights, based upon the many imitations of his play Tamburlaine. Modern scholars consider him to have been the foremost dramatist in London in the years just before his mysterious early death. Some scholars also believe that he greatly influenced William Shakespeare, who was baptized in the same year as Marlowe and later succeeded him as a preeminent Elizabethan playwright. Marlowe was the first to achieve critical reputation for his use of blank verse, which became the standard for the area. Characters of the play: Barabbas, the protagonist of the play; Abigail, Barabbas' daughter; Ithamore, Barabbas' slave; Furniss, Barabbas' great enemy and the governor of Malta; Selim Kalimat, the Turkish leader and son of the Turkish Sultan; Don Lodovic, Furniss' son; Don Matthias, Abigail's lover and also Ludovic's friend; Catherine, Matthias' mother; Bellamira, Courtesan; Bilabosa, Bellamira's attendant. Let us see Act-wise summary. Act 1, Scene 1. Barabbas enters his counting house where he is surrounded by piles of gold. He is awaiting the return of his merchant ships, which carry various goods including Greek wines and Spanish oils. A merchant enters and tells Barabbas that his ship has safely arrived. The Turkish fleet has arrived. Barabbas cares only about himself, his money, and also his daughter Abigail. He cares little about Malta or the other Jews. There will be a meeting at the Senate House. The Jewish man tells Barabbas and every Jew in Malta must attend. Act 1, Scene 2. Furniss, the governor of Malta, enters with Selim Kalimat, the son of the Turkish emperor, and several Turkish military officers. The tribute between Malta and the Turkish Empire has not been paid for 10 years, and the emperor has sent Kalimat to collect that. Furniss claims the tribute is too high, and he begs Kalimat for mercy. Furniss has no choice but to pay. Furniss agrees, but he asks Kalimat for more time. Furniss says he will have the money in 1 month, and Kalimat also agrees that. Barabbas enters with the 3 other Jewish men. Selim Kalimat has come to collect the tribute money, Furniss says. 10 years worth of tribute money is too much. Furniss continues, and he must ask the Jews for their help. Barabbas surprised and asks Furniss if he is asking for his money. Yes, the other Jews as well. The Jewish men immediately protest that each Jew must pay half of their total wealth. Every Jew must either give up half his estate or convert to Christianity. If he refuses both, he has to give up his entire estate. Barabbas refuses, and now Malta will seize his entire estate. Barabbas admits that some Jews are wicked, but he says that all Christians are wicked. The knight interrupts and suggests they seize Barabbas' mansion and turn it into a nunnery. Officer enters and reports they have secured Barabbas' wealth, which is worth more than all of Malta's wealth combined. They have secured the money from the other Jew as well, the officer adds. The abbess agrees to take Abigail to the nunnery. Lodovic asks Matthias, why he looks so upset, and Matthias says he has just watched the most beautiful woman, that is the daughter of Barabbas the Jew. Now she become a nun. 2. Scene 1. It is a night time. Barabbas enters with a light and he is creeping around his old mansion in the dark. He cannot believe that he has lost everything, and he again laments his plight and Fernie's cruelty. Abigail appears at a window. She has found Barabbas' hidden gold. Receive the happiness, Abigail says as she throws several bags down to Barabbas. Abigail tells Barabbas to gather his bags and be gone. The nuns will soon rise for the first prayers of the day, and they will find his presence suspicious. Now Barabbas feels very happy because he got his gold and moved from that place. Act 2, Scene 2. Now Fernis enters with Martin del Bosco, the vice admiral of Spain, along with several knights and officers. Bosco and his men captured one Turkish ship, killed the captain, and took the men for slaves. Now they have come to Malta to sell the Turkish slaves at the market. Fernis says Malta's agreement with the Turks prohibits the selling of Turkish slaves in Malta. Bosco is surprised that Malta is in a league with Turks. Now Bosco asks Fernis how much money Malta owes Selim Kalamat. Fernis answers 1 lakh crowns. Spain will fight off the Turks if Malta becomes part of Spain. Fernis immediately agrees and tells Bosco that he may sell his Turkish slaves in Malta. Act 2, Scene 3. Barabbas enters the market where many slaves are on display with their prices. Everyone thinks that Barabbas is not having money since Fernis seized his estate. But the help of Abigail, the small fortune hidden in the floorboards saved Barabbas' life. Now he is leading a luxurious life. He has come to the market to buy a slave. Abigail is at home in Barabbas' fancy new mansion. Still, she is Jewish. Barabbas swears revenge against Fernis and his son Lodovic. Barabbas sees Lodovic enter the market. Lodovic heard that Barabbas was there, and he is hoping to catch a glimpse of Abigail, and he wants to see if she is beautiful as Matthias says. Lodovic asks if Barabbas can help him find a diamond. Barabbas claims that Fernis has all his diamonds. The only diamond Barabbas has left is his daughter Abigail. Lodovic asks if Barabbas' diamond sparkles without a foil. Lodovic then asks if the diamond is square or pointed, and Barabbas says it is pointed. But in another aside, Barabbas adds one more thing, but the diamond is not for you. Barabbas is shown a skinny slave named Ithamor, who comes from Arabia. Barabbas pays 100 crowns and purchases the slave Ithamor. Barabbas turns to Lodovic and tells him to come and visit soon. They will talk about the diamond, Barabbas says. Barabbas asks Ithamor about his birth and profession. Ithamor says he is of low birth and he claims that his profession is whatever Barabbas wants. Barabbas next tells Ithamor a bit about himself. Barabbas likes to take late night walks, murder sick people, and poison wells. When Barabbas was young, he studied medicine and killed many people with his potions. Ithamor next tells Barabbas about himself. He enjoys burning down Christian villages, cutting the throats of Christian travelers, and crippling Christians on pilgrimages to Jerusalem. Barabbas can't believe his luck. We are villains both, he says. Both circumcised we hate Christians. Don Lodovic again enters the market asking Barabbas where the diamond. Barabbas guides Lodovic to his mansion and yields for Abigail to open the door. Abigail appears and Barabbas tells her entertain Ludovic, promise to love him. Abigail is reluctant and reminds Barabbas that she loves Matthias. Of course, Barabbas says, promising Abigail that she will have Matthias. But for now, Barabbas needs her to distract Ludovic for a bit. She agrees and excites with Ludovic. Ludovic will soon kiss Abigail and fall in love with her. And then Ludovic and Matthias will kill each other and Barabbas' revenge on Furnace will be complete. Matthias immediately asks where Abigail. Barabbas begins to cry and tells Matthias that Ludovic has been pursuing Abigail behind Matthias' back, sending her letters and gifts. Matthias draws his sword and swears he will kill Ludovic. Barabbas tells Ithamore to lock her back in the house. Barabbas gives Ithamore a letter and tells him to deliver it to Matthias and claim it is from Ludovic. The letter is a fake challenge from Ludovic to Matthias, and it is sure to turn them against each other. Act 3, Scene 1. Bellamira, a local prostitute, enters and laments the state of her business since the Turkish fleet has blocked Malta's port. Pillaborsa, a thief who often works with Bellamira, enters and hands her a bag of money. Pimp, a man who controls prostitutes and arranges clients for them, taking a percentage of their earning in return. Ithamore notices Bellamira's beauty. Ithamore can tell that the woman is a prostitute by the way she is dressed, but Ithamore does not care. He would pay 100 of Barabbas' crowns to win her love. As Ithamore marvels at Bellamira's beauty, he mentions that he has delivered the letter to Matthias. Now, all that is left to do is wait for Matthias and Ludovic to kill each other. Act 3, Scene 2. Matthias and Ludovic, the two men, draw their swords and fight as Barabbas watches quietly from above. He rejoices as Ludovic and Matthias stab each other and fall to the ground dead. Barabbas bids them farewell and exits. Furnace and Catherine rush in along with a group of citizens and find Ludovic and Matthias dead. Catherine and Furnace look to each other for revenge, but then they remember that their sons loved each other. Someone must have turned Matthias and Ludovic into enemies, Catherine says. She suggests they find the culprit and seek vengeance there. Furnace also agrees that. Act 3, Scene 3. Abigail enters with Ithamore. Barabbas forget a challenge. Ithamore excitedly tells Abigail. Ithamore delivered the challenge and now both Matthias and Ludovic are dead. She admits that Barabbas has every right to hate Ludovic for the sin of being Furnace's son, but Matthias has done nothing to deserve such treatment. She wishes to be admitted to the convent as a nun. Giacomo leads her off to the nunnery. Act 3, Scene 4. Barabbas enters. Reading a letter from Abigail, he is shocked that his daughter has joined the convent. Barabbas worries that Abigail knows about his involvement in the death of Matthias and Ludovic. He asks Ithamore when he last saw Abigail, and Ithamore says he saw her earlier in the day with Friar Giacomo. Barabbas is certain that Giacomo is the blame for Abigail's conversion. Barabbas says that Ithamore is his only friend, and he promises that Ithamore will inherit all his wealth upon his death. Ithamore must fetch Barabbas a pot of rice. Ithamore agrees and exits. Ithamore soon returns with a pot of rice, and Barabbas tells him that he will soon witness Abigail's death and become Barabbas' only heir. Ithamore is excited to hear it and asks if Barabbas plans to poison the rice. Yes, Barabbas says, with a special powder he bought from an Italian port. The poison is strong, but it takes 40 hours to take effect. Barabbas hands the poisoned rice to Ithamore and tells him to hurry back after he has dropped it at the convent. Act 3, Scene 5. Turkish Basha. The Basha is a high-ranking Turkish official. He was sent by Selim Kalimat to collect the tribute money. Ferni's 30-day grace period is over. Fernis promptly informs the Basha that he will not pay the tribute money to Selim Kalimat and the Turkish Empire. Since Fernis has broken the league and refuses to pay the tribute, he can expect Selim Kalimat himself to come and destroy Malta. Now the Basha bids Fernis goodbye and exits. Fernis turns to the knights and tells them to ready the men of Malta. They will welcome Kalimat and his war. Martin del Bosco is the vice admiral of Spain and Fernis ally. Act 3, Scene 6. Giacomo and Bernardine enter. Giacomo says that all the nuns are sick and no medicine will help. The nuns will surely die, he claims. Abigail enters. She tells Bernardine that all the other nuns are dead and that she will soon be dead too. She needs Bernardine to hear her confession. Abigail asks Bernardine if he knows Matthias and Lodovic, and he says yes. Abigail admits, and it is because of Barabbas that the two men are dead, and then Abigail also died.